This tutorial will explain the game concepts used in PK cards. We begin with Prestige. Prestige is a tally of your score. A player starts the game with 0 prestige and tries to reach 7 before his opponent. Karma. Players also begin the game with 4 karma. Karma represents magical energy or raw luck, and does not refresh itself during the game. At the beginning of the battle, each player draws 7 cards. Karma may be spent to replace 2 unwanted cards in a player's hand. This is called rallying. A player may rally until they are satisfied with their cards, or until they spend all their karma. A player can keep track of prestige and karma by simply using another card to reveal a player's total. This tutorial explains the types of cards used in PK cards. There are 4 types of cards used in PK cards. Each type of card represents a different element of the game. All cards. Each card has a name at the top of the card, a rarity icon, and a collector number. Avatar. The avatar is your representative in PK. You may have only one avatar in your deck. This is the leader of the player's troops. Each avatar has a unique effect that shapes the strategies of the gameplay. These effects are listed in the rules text. Your current prestige score is represented on the left side of the card, while you can track your karma on the right side of the card. Powers represent mythical equipment and other mystic resources that your avatar can use. Only one power may be used at a time. A power may be used until it is replaced by another power, or until an opponent removes the card. The power can be used throughout the game. You can identify a power card by its symbol in the top left corner, or its card type, which is located at the bottom of the card. This differentiates card types from one another. Attributes on the card can be represented in more than one way. The power symbol and the text illustrate an alternative example of attribute presentation. Continuing with the parts of a power card, the rules text contain a written explanation of the card's effect on the game. Powers are divided into 5 subtypes called power suits. These power suits include coin, cup, shield, sword, and wand power. These power suits have no direct effect on their own, but other cards may have the ability to affect cards of a specific power suit. Influences represent temporary magic spells that your avatar may use in a single sortie, but must be discarded after a sortie has concluded. A player may use many influences in a single sortie, which can also help a troop conquer an opponent. You can identify an influence card by its symbol in the top left corner, or by its card type, which is located at the bottom of the card. This differentiates card types from one another. Just like a power card, influences contain text rules, which specifies an influence on the single sortie. Troops will usually be the bulk of your deck. They represent soldiers and follow your avatar throughout the game. Each troop has a unique combination of offensive and defensive strengths. These strengths are used to determine the victor in the conflict. While each troop has a rank, there are 4 ranks of increasing power. The lowest troop rank is called henchman. This is considered to be a supported rank, which means that if this is the first card played in a battle, henchman provides support for the next highest rank, which is ally. Henchman and ally then are able to support champion in a battle. The highest troop rank is legend. This hierarchy builds support so that a troop does not sacrifice strength in a sortie. If a troop is in battle before he is supported, he loses strength with which he fights his opponent. Suit, race, and special abilities are also included on each troop. A suit is a color-coded element that a troop represents. These suits include water, fire, earth, wood, and metal. When a player attacks an opponent, the attacking troop card displays a specific suit. The opponent must play a card of that suit if they have it in their hand. If the opponent does not have a card of the same suit, he must choose a card of a different suit. Each troop also belongs to a race, which can be affected by specific cards in the game. There are 12 races in PK cards, but race does not have a direct effect on its own. It must be affected by another card in the game. Once a troop card is played, a player's turn ends. This tutorial explains the sequence of play in PK cards. The game mat is included in any core deck. Reveal your avatar. The avatar is your representative in PK. Place your avatar in the center of the mat. Your deck should be shuffled and placed on the mat. Each player rolls a die or flips a coin to determine the lead player. We begin with a single battle. Each battle is divided into 7 sorties. Draw a beginning hand of 7 cards from your deck. You may decide you would like to spend 1 karma to replace 2 cards. This is called rallying. This only occurs at the beginning of this first sortie within a battle. Discard the 2 cards in your discard pile. Then, draw 2 new cards from your deck. Rallying may be repeated until you are satisfied, or until you run out of karma. The first player in this sequence of play rallies first. The next player, in a clockwise order, may then rally. Taking turns. Once rallying is complete, the lead player then attacks by playing a card. Each player may have only 1 power card in play at a time, which means that any previously used powers are replaced by a new power. In contrast, any number of influences may be played, but they only remain for a single sortie. A player's turn is complete when he plays a troop. Each troop has a suit. The lead player may play a troop of any suit. Other players must follow suit if they are able. Conflict begins when all players' turns are complete. Conflict. Each troop has an offense and defensive combat value. The lead player or lead team are attackers and use their troops' offense. Their opponents are defenders and use their troops' defense. Higher ranked troops get a penalty to offense and defense unless supported by troops of each lower rank. The player's troop with the highest combat value after applying all modifiers wins the conflict. In the event of a tie, players trump each other based on suit. A suit trumps diagonally clockwise across the ring of suits. Therefore, water trumps fire, fire trumps metal, metal trumps wood, wood trumps earth, and earth trumps water. If more than 1 player remains, they PK, until there is exactly 1 left. In a PK, each player reveals the top card from his deck. The greatest combat value on the card determines the victor, which means that if a card is drawn with no combat value, such as an influence or power card, this is immediately defeated. If the offensive value, in this case, is greater than the opponent's defense value, the greater value wins. Aftermath. Once a single victor has been determined, aftermath begins, and all defeated troops are inverted. All players place their troops in the left side of their battle line. Apply all effects and discard all influences. The victorious player leads the next sortie. Because this is not the first sortie, you do not rally. Each player draws from his deck until he has 1 card for each sortie left in battle. This is his base hand size. In this case, you draw 1 card, increasing your hand size to 6, because there are 6 sorties left in the battle. If a player already has 1 card left for each sortie, he does not draw. At the end of the 7th sortie, all players discard their remaining cards, and scoring begins.